Hello, and thank you for joining me as I talk a little about obsessive-compulsive behaviour and its relation to gaming. I've decided to do this as the topic is very close to me, and hopefully I can clear up some common misconceptions and maybe help someone recognise that they are falling into OCD traps and allow them to do something about it. When people talk about OCD in regard to gaming, they often mean things like collecting all the collectibles in the game or doing certain things such as reloading their weapons even if they have 90% of the clip still remaining. Now, although there are varying degrees of OCD, what I've just described is largely obsessive-compulsive behaviour rather than disorder. Pretty much everyone has obsessive-compulsive behaviours, often brought on through habit or ritual. These are easy to spot outside of gaming too. Things like always opening a bag of crisps the right way up, or making sure a room is nice and tidy. Where this behaviour becomes a disorder is when life can suffer as a result of performing said rituals. For example, if I was playing a first-person shooter and fired a single bullet and then reloaded, not because I had to, but because it felt like the right thing to do, or simply because I've done it countless times before, that could be attributed to obsessive-compulsive behaviour. Now, what some people don't know is that obsessive-compulsive disorder often revolves around intrusive thoughts. These can be the belief that something is wrong, or that something bad will happen if not dealt with in the correct way. Now, if I reload said weapon because I have a strong feeling that a loved one could be hurt in real life if I don't, or that something bad will happen to me, that is the realms of OCD. To make matters worse, there can be layers of complexity added to such simple things as reloading a gun in a game. For instance, if the ammo clip had 29 shots left before you reload, you could find it physically uncomfortable or emotionally draining that you didn't reload while there was an even number of shots left in the weapon. Again, where obsessive-compulsive disorder differs from obsessive-compulsive behaviour is not only in how it affects you, but also what you do next. Some people will manage to shrug it off and carry on about their business. Some people will fire 2 shots off before reloading to make it feel right. But then, again adding a layer of complexity to the matter, are those that doubt how many bullets were left. They can be 99% sure that there was an even amount of bullets remaining before they reloaded, but that slight chance that they were wrong means they'll fire another 2 shots off and reload again. Where the disorder can get worse is the feeling that you can't do anything else until the current situation is resolved. In some cases, this can be as severe as not eating or drinking before taking care of the situation. Imagine, if you will, that someone has now been firing and reloading their weapon for 30 minutes straight before finally feeling everything is sorted. Now, imagine that this sort of behaviour can be applied to not only many different aspects of gaming, such as jumping an even number of times or always turning left when given the option, but also to many aspects of a person's life. The severity of OCD can be absolutely crippling, and not something as simple as making sure an object is put in the right place after use. I've personally suffered with OCD for over 12 years. In my case, I mostly suffer with contamination-based OCD with a little counting and symmetry OCD. This has led me to remain inside my house for the majority of those years. In fact, I've been outside around 10 individual times during that period. I avoid all contact with other people or items that they may have come in contact with unless they've been properly decontaminated. Not only does this mean a great deal of my time is spent doing things that are rather nonsensical, but it also puts a strain on loved ones. I'm lucky in that I have the most wonderful mum in the world, and she does what she can to help me overcome these difficulties and live a good life. This is where gaming plays a huge role in my life, more so than a simple hobby. Many people play games for escapism, and for me it provides that and more. When I enter a game, I can become immersed. I can put my obsessive thoughts to one side and relax, putting my attention solely on the game I'm playing. Well, within reason. If a fly was to land on my arm, my attention is then fully focused on performing my rituals, in my case a great deal of washing, before I can refocus my efforts on gaming. But largely it becomes all about the game. I'm no longer limited by my OCD or reliant on others. I can provide for myself, lead assaults on enemy outposts, look after others by healing them in an MMORPG, or taking over an entire world in a grand strategy title. More than simply playing a game, it becomes a very social environment as well. Gaming allows me to play and chat with other people and is my main source of social interaction. A few good friends have been made through gaming, and there have been experiences I wouldn't change for the world as a result. It's a mood lifter as well. People take a lot of things for granted until it's taken away, such as a calming breeze or some rainfall. The amount of joy I can take from simply taking a few minutes to listen to the sound of rain as my character in a game runs through a forest is staggering. Just a simple sound can invoke memories and give me hope for what lies ahead. There are, of course, darker sides to gaming as well. I'm sure many people fear the desire to play a game to completion or collect all the achievements. For an obsessive-compulsive mind, I feel the draw of these two. It actually takes a fair bit of effort to say enough is enough and stop myself from searching for a hidden collectible or prevent myself from grinding away 10,000 enemies. Indeed, sometimes I wish developers were more aware and considerate of people's time when thinking of achievements. What can reward the dedicated can also feel like a required goal or even punishment to others. Not that such achievements shouldn't exist, of course, but there are extremes out there. Sometimes, especially when you get your hands on a brand new game, you can feel compelled to put things off and play a little more. As in all things, moderation is key to a healthy gaming lifestyle, regardless of whether you have OCD, OCB, or just enjoy gaming casually. I wonder how the future will fare with the arrival of virtual reality. For someone with severe OCD or another disability, it offers a great deal of opportunity. To actually feel as if I'm walking through some dark ruins without fearing I will knock into a wall and have to change my clothes or wash. I feel it might even be able to help me overcome certain elements of my OCD. The added immersion could be a great help. If I can do it in a game, why not in real life? Of course, I also have to wonder about how virtual reality will affect others. Some people might find the fantasy superior to the reality, becoming reliant on the technology to live out a comfortable life. For instance, if I can feel like I'm at a concert without worrying about bumping into people around me, there is little incentive for me to actually buy a ticket and stand amongst the crowd. I guess, like everything, we shall have to wait and see. I hope I've managed to explain certain elements of OCD in a way fellow gamers will grasp and given a little insight into myself and what gaming means to me. If you have experienced intrusive thoughts related to OCD, I implore you to have a chat with your doctor. OCD is one of those things where it can be a lot easier to treat if caught early on. Thank you very much for your time and happy gaming. Take care.